What's up guys, welcome to another video at Movement Mechanics and welcome to another video at the top 4 exercise series. Now I don't know whether you guys have observed this or not, there is a slight difference when Yohan runs and Usain Bolt runs. Now the difference is at the plantation of the feet. Now Yohan has got external rotation at the plantation of his feet. There are various factors contributing to this aspect, but there is one major factor which we are going to talk about in this video, which is the adductor muscle group. Now the adductors are important when we talk about straight landing on the feet. Now I'm not saying that Yohan had weak adductors. Maybe he must be having weak adductors, but I don't want you guys to have that issue. Hence, I'm going to give you top 4 exercises in this video, which are going to help you strengthen your adductors. As we have got the tradition in this series, before we get into practically, let's understand some anatomy for your adductors. The adductors are composed of the adductor magnus, the adductor brevis and the adductor longus. Now all these muscles combine lead to adduction, which is bringing the leg towards the body rather than moving it away from the body. But it is the adductor magnus which is one of the most important muscle in the adductor group, which also does an important role of hip extension. Now the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings and the adductors, these 3 muscles are going to help you do that hip extension, which is the most important factor when we talk about running or when we're talking about any ballistic activities such as Olympic weightlifting. Now the adductors also play an important role in the hip extension muscle group as well. So make sure you have got these adductors strengthened properly so that you not have any external rotation issues, nor have any hip extension issues as well. Now the first exercise is because of Denmark's Copenhagen, and I've always thanked Denmark in order to give this exercise to us. Now the Copenhagen Hold is the best exercise for engaging your adductors. Now this is an isometric exercise, but this exercise is going to fire those adductors at a different level and it is going to strengthen those adductors. Now persons who are suffering from adductor tendinopathy or person who have got an injury at the adductors or who have got very weak adductors, you should have Copenhagen Hold in your training programs as an athlete, because this would be a game changer for you. Secondly, we're going to talk about another important exercise for strengthening all the adductor muscle group, the groin weight plate shift. The groin weight plate shift is going to exactly mimic adduction, that is bringing the leg towards the center of the body, which is going to engage all those 3 muscles, the adductor magnus, longus and the adductor brevis, and is going to strengthen them. And this exercise is very useful for isolating these muscle groups because there is no other movement going on when we're talking about the groin weight plate shift. Now if you want to isolate the muscles, strengthen them and gain that hypertrophic changes, then this exercise is very useful for you. Moving forward, I'm going to give you another unilateral exercise, which is a variation of your traditional lunges, the lateral lunge. Now doing a lateral lunge, you're going to engage those adductor muscles, but there are 2 variations of doing a lateral lunge. One is onto the bench or one is directly onto the floor. Now I prefer doing it onto the bench. The reason is you are going to engage more of the adductor muscles, engage more and more of the fibers which are engaged in your adductor muscle group. Now if you're going to do it onto the floor, it is fine, but that is a kind of a beginner's exercise, or you can say a regression of the lateral lunge doing onto the bench. So if you're an intermediate athlete or an advanced athlete, make sure you are doing it onto the bench, keeping that one leg onto the bench. But if you're a beginner, you can simply do it onto the floor so that you get maximum benefits from both of the exercises. Everyone loves doing deadlift except me, because I'm not a big fan of doing deadlifts with the help of a barbell. I'm a big fan of doing trap bar deadlifts, but if you want to engage adductors, there's a good variation of doing a deadlift, which is a sumo deadlift. But again, I'm not going to suggest you do the deadlift onto a barbell. I'm just going to suggest you do the deadlift onto a heavy dumbbell. That is also going to give you the same benefits what you're going to do it on the barbell. Of course, the benefits are going to be on the lower side, but the risk to reward ratio while doing the deadlift with a dumbbell is very less as compared to the barbell. However, the risk to reward ratio when it comes to barbell and the dumbbell is going to be onto the lesser side. The risk is very less while doing with the dumbbell, and the risk is very high while doing it with the barbell. Of course, the reward is also going to be high with the barbell, but the risk is going to be on the higher side. So I am never going to suggest anyone do the deadlift with the help of a barbell, may it be a traditional deadlift or may it be a sumo deadlift. Getting back to our exercise, so if you want to engage those adductors and do a compound lift as a deadlift, then the sumo deadlift is the best exercise. Now the major part of the sumo deadlift is the stance. You need to have a wider stance, and secondly, the pointing of the toes has to be out. Once you point those toes out, then you are going to engage more of this adductor muscle group and you are going to move with those adductors. Now as I've mentioned, that adductor does adduction of the feet, but also helps in extension of the hip joint. Hence this exercise is going to give you both of the benefits, which is going to engage those adductors while going down as well as while coming up, which is where that hip extension is going to happen. Alright guys, these were the top 4 exercises which are going to help you strengthen your adductors. And if you are Usain Bolt, you are going to curse me, or if you are Yohan Blake, you are going to bless me. Of course, these guys have retired, but if they would have been in their prime, then the cursing and blessing from Usain Bolt and Yohan Blake respectively would have happened for sure. So, if you have loved this video, make sure to like, the share, the subscribe, as well as the notification bell icon so that you never miss a video whenever I'm uploading a new one. Also, if you have got any doubts or any comments regarding this video or any other video suggestion which you want to cover in the future, make sure to drop that in the comment section. Alright guys, see you in the next one.